May I know your full name?
My name is Ashwini Chaudhary.
What may I call you?
You can call me Ash.
All right. Can I see your ID proof?
Sure, here it is.
Thank you. Okay. Our famous IELTS Masterclass are starting today. That is 30th of March. Every day, 7:30 in the evening will be the sessions using an app called GoToMeeting, which is very similar to Zoom. We received 4.7 out of 5 in Google reviews. We got 95% of the positive reviews. Let me show you some of them. Most of our students are getting anything between 7 to 8.5 bands. And if you want all the benefits which they got, do not forget to reserve your seat on ieltsclass.learnwithsimonash.com. Let's continue with the test. So this is your IELTS full test. Remember, this test will be recorded for quality purposes and for providing you grades. So let's begin with part 1. Here's the first question. Do most people live in houses or apartments in your country?
People prefer to live in apartments usually because they are cheaper to buy comparative to build a house as such. Because in building a house, you have a land and then construction goes on the top of it. But in an apartment, you can just directly go and buy it.
All right. Next. What do people usually do in their free time in your country?
People do all sorts of things in their free time in my country. One thing that is dominant is watching TV with the family members, especially watching movies or soaps as such. And that is the thing that I can remember very common in my country.
Great. Next. What do you enjoy the most about living in your country?
I enjoy a lot of things, honestly speaking. And one thing that I enjoy the most in living in my country, which is India, is that we are very close to our families. So every occasion, every festival, celebration, ceremonies, we can always travel to our families and they are very close to us. So this is one thing that I enjoy the most.
Okay. Would you say that your country is a good place to visit? And why?
I would definitely say yes to this because as I mentioned that we are very close to our families. So anybody who's traveling from abroad can actually feel that connection with people here. I mean, if you're traveling from a different country and you are traveling to Rishikesh or Himalayas here, then you will find people to be very open and very adjusting, and you will not feel as if you have come to a different country.
Theme 2, food. 1. What is your favorite meal?
My favorite meal is dinner. Because I don't like cooking much and I prefer somebody cooks it for me. So in the evening, my husband is usually free and he cooks most of the time. So I would say it's dinner for me.
Okay. Do you prefer to eat out or eat at your home?
If given a choice, I would definitely prefer eating outside most of the time. As I mentioned, I don't like cooking at all. But again, it's very expensive. So we try to keep a mixture of eating most of the time inside. But given a chance, we prefer to eat outside as well.
All right. Are there any traditional meals that you would recommend and why?
I would recommend people to have dal chawal, which is common across the country from northern part to southern part more overall. And the combination of dals with rice is a deadly combination, I would say. So it is one thing which is quite suggestible to people.
And finally, last, how have people's eating habits changed in your country?
People's eating habits have changed a lot over a couple of years now. We prefer, the young generation or 21st century generation prefers to eat in McDonald's, Domino's and all these fast food outlets. Earlier, if I have to talk about my parents' time, they never ate outside, honestly speaking. They used to prefer to eat at home with their families. But now we prefer to have junk foods more because it's easy and it's very accessible.
Alright, that was the end of part 1. We are moving to part 2. In this part, you will be given 1 minute to prepare for the question. You will get a paper and you can take notes as well. You will have to speak around 2 minutes, and here's your question. And here's the pencil for taking notes.
I'm not a person who watches television program a lot compared to my friends, but I have recently picked the habit of watching The Big Bang Theory. It's an American comedy drama that comes on CBS, and it's a program where you have a couple of friends hanging around with each other all the time. They show their meals together, how they work in the same office. Actually, they are physicists, most of them, or scientists, you can call them. I enjoy watching this program because we don't have this kind of environment at home comparative to what they show in the TV. It shows the other side of happiness, fun, friends, families together, and how a couple of friends come together and they make each other their family. The kind of jokes are very scientific, and it's hard to grasp them sometimes, but at the same time you kind of keep laughing about them for longer. I would recommend this program to my friends or my family, I would say. It's because it's short. You get an episode of like 20 to 30 minutes. So while you're having your dinner, you can actually watch an episode there, and that's why it's recommendable to my friends. If I have to generalize it together, I would say I love this program, and it's very funny, it's very serious, and you understand a lot of things about life.
Great. Let's move to part 3. The role of advertising on television is the theme. Question 1. How do you feel about the amount of advertising on television?
The amount of advertisement on television have increased recently. Earlier, when we used to watch a movie for 1 hour, there was like 1 or 2 ads throughout the entire session. But nowadays, if you watch a movie on, let's say, Setmax, you will find advertisement after every 15 minutes, and which is really irritating, honestly speaking. So I would say the increment is not a good thing.
Okay, great. Number 2. In what ways has television advertising changed in the last 10 years?
The advertisement have changed a lot over the last 10 years. Earlier, we used to have advertisement which was related to toothpaste, and they were very friendly and family-oriented advertisement. But nowadays, you find a lot of hype in the advertisement. We don't feel that personal connection anymore. And also, the methods of advertisement have changed. Earlier, it was just ad that comes in between the TV. Now the ads have been over all the social media platforms. You can find it when you go to a theater. So I would say it has changed a lot.
Okay. Question 3. To what extent are people influenced by the advertising they see on television?
I think we are influenced a lot as people. And if I have to buy something, I would always refer the advertisement first. If I see a good dress online, or let's say on TV while watching a movie, I prefer to check about that object immediately. I don't go by people's suggestion anymore. I go by advertisement moreover.
We're going to change the theme to effect of films on society. And here's your question 1. Why do people still enjoy going to the cinema to watch a film?
People enjoy watching television on cinema. It's because we have this family connection, because earlier it used to be a family thing. Parents used to take us to cinema to watch movies like Gadar or Bichu, which was quite famous back then. But nowadays it has reduced. So if given an opportunity to go to cinema, we would grab it. It makes us have the reminiscence of every moments we had spent with our family.
2. What sort of influence can films have on people?
Films can be really influential, and how we think, how we act, how we dress up has a lot to do of what we see on TV. So in a movie, if I see an actress wearing a one piece which is vibrant and colorful, I would want to buy that. So you can say that what they show on movies have quite influenced us in real life.
Alright, great. 3. Should filmmakers be responsible for the impact their films can have on people?
To a certain extent, yes, they should be. But I won't say it's completely their responsibility, because how we perceive what they show us has a lot to do more how we act in real life. But they cannot show anything or everything on TV. They have to have some certain guidelines. They should be more family-oriented films coming up, because I don't find a movie that has been created recently which I can watch with my family. So it's going to be a mixed up view on this, because I feel yes, to a certain extent they should be responsible, but not completely.
That's the end of the test. Thank you for your time.